Hello everybody, welcome back to Firefield Junction and welcome to another review. Yeah, we've got another loco today and I'm sure we're used to seeing locos. I've done plenty of them, but yeah, we've got another one. And as we can see today, we've got a Hornby Railroad loco for us today. Don't think I've looked at a Hornby Railroad loco for a while now, so I suppose it's quite nice to have one. And as we can see, this is the brand new Class 59 in the Hanson livery from Hornby. Obviously, it's Hornby Railroad. But yeah, it's a brand new loco. Well, I suppose fairly new now, because it's been out for probably over a month now or so. I was meant to review this loco quite a while ago when it first came out. But basically, other locos ended up taking priority. And I just ended up delaying the video again and again and again. But we're finally doing it. It's finally here. And we can finally actually have a look at the model in detail. So obviously it is a Hornby Railroad loco, so we know it's not going to be that great. It's going to be quite low end, not a lot of detail, quality maybe not the best, and so on and so on. But it should still be fairly good. The Hornby Railroad range, the models they're usually very well built. They perform very well. So overall, they're usually not too bad. They just obviously don't have a lot of detail and everything. This is a brand new release, so hopefully it'll be good. Some of Hornby's recent releases can be a bit hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes you can get a really good model. Other times you can get one it's not so good. There can be quite a lot of errors and quality issues with it. But hopefully this one will be fine. And from what I've seen so far, because I have already opened the loco and ran her in and shipped her and everything, overall everything does seem to be okay. Although she does seem to suffer from a common issue from this type of tooling, which I'll talk about later. So obviously the box is not that interesting. If we look at the end of the box, we can see so it's a Railroad Plus, so enhanced livery. That's quite interesting. So the model code is R30070. It's a Hanson Class 59. It's a Coco, which is the wheel arrangement. It's Village of Whatley, which is quite nice. So obviously these Class 59s, you usually see them on sort of Whatley Quarry, Merehead Quarry workings, mostly around the southwest and around the south is where you usually see them. Or you sometimes do see them up north every now and then, because obviously Freightliner now own these, so you do see them up north, I think around Leeds every now and then, because they've got the depot up around there. I can't remember what it's called though. It's included etched nameplates, yes it does, because Hornby, the Railroad Plus brand basically with Hornby, it's not incredibly different to the regular railroad stuff, but basically the livery, the decoration is supposed to be a bit better. You basically get etched nameplates and number plates, which obviously that's good quality. That's what you want to see when you pay, especially the price that you have to pay for these, the RRP anyway. Obviously that's the sort of features you expect. So overall, not too bad. It seems like we're gonna have a fairly decent model. DCC ready, obviously 8-pin DCC ready, and she has been shipped already as well, only with a cheap lace DCC decoder temporarily, but at least she's digital, so I can run her on DCC, so that's not too bad. But I suppose there's nothing else that interesting on the box, so we might as well open her up and see what she's like. So opening the box on these, it's not obviously, I'm sure we all know how to open a box. Nice and easy, just slide her out. They've obviously got the typical instructions first, so we'll have a very quick look at these. So it's Class 59, Class 66. Obviously, yes, these two models by Hornby near enough share the exact same tooling. Obviously, the motor and bogie is exactly the same. The wiring is exactly the same. The motor itself, I believe is different. Hornby's Class 66s use 5-pole motors. These, I believe, only have 3-pole motors, but they're still decent motors. The performance is still okay. It's not great, but it's still okay. And then I'm sure in here we'll see the usual stuff. Yeah, the usual stuff. So lubrication, body removal. They really need to update these photos, I think, because for a start, these models don't have the gigantic couplings anymore. They are NEM couplings now. Apart from that, everything else is near enough the same, but yeah, they don't have these couplings anymore. They are NEM couplings. So yeah, the instructions are slightly outdated. So yeah, something to consider, Hornby. Upgrade your instructions. Yeah, so obviously just lift up the plastic flap. We have got some details over here. I'm sure this will be the usual stuff. So yeah, we can see we've got snow plows, well, sort of air dam pieces, got some hoses, and somewhere in there we can just about see them. We have got the etched nameplates. Let's see if I can get them out a bit. So there we go. So you can see there we've got the etched nameplates there with the loco's name. And I believe there are also etched number plates as well, just to go over the numbers. Yeah, just there. So that's quite nice. It's nice that we get those. So if we just grab the loco, just ease her out. There we go. And the packaging, we can just put that to one side because we don't need that. And there we go. So obviously, yeah, we're quite used to seeing these Hornby Class 59s now. I think this is the third one I've done actually. They are basic. They're not the best locos in the world. The detail, well, it's there, but it's not that special. The weight is okay, but it's not the heaviest thing in the world. It's okay though. It's not. I wouldn't say the weight is terrible, but we have seen better. I have held much heavier locos than this. The livery application is not too bad. It's nice and crisp. I can't see any paint bleed anywhere, so the livery is very, very good. Obviously driving wheels, it's just these two. You do have traction tyres, which is, yeah, we don't really like traction tyres. We have got loads of pickups though, all-wheel pickup. Even the ones with traction tyres have pickups on them. So reliability overall should be very, very good. However, there's one thing I must point out, and that is with the pickups on the dummy bogie. I have fixed it on this model, or at least I'm pretty sure I have. I'm sure I've improved it. Is that basically with the pickups on the dummy bogies of these models, so not just this particular one, but all of Hornby's Class 66s and Class 59s, from my experience anyway, all suffer from this. And that is basically the pickups. They can very easily become separate from the wheels. So basically when the wheels obviously move from side to side, they literally only have to travel a tiny bit for them to become separate. So basically when this model was new, basically obviously the pickups would have been a bit straighter. They are a little bit more bent, where I've tried to bend them out a bit more. But basically the wheel could be straight, but then it could literally move just a tiny bit like that. So that's only slightly out of alignment now, and it could be completely separate, and that pickup could not be touching the wheel. So yeah, the pickups, whilst there's lots of them, they're not the most reliable in the world from my experience. I'm not saying you will have pickup issues on this model because of that, but I have suffered from it firsthand with a Hornby Class 66 actually. For those of you that have seen my review of the Hornby Captain Tom Moore Class 66 that I looked at quite a long time ago now. Basically, even after maybe just a month or two of me running it, and that was not running it very often, it probably only ran a handful of times, but I literally went to run it one day. Wheels were clean, track was clean. As soon as it went over a point, it just cut out. And when I checked the pickups, I found the pickups were not that reliable. So I'm not saying it will happen to you, but it could do, and it has happened to me. So I always recommend, if you can, try and adjust the pickups on this model. Obviously, if you don't want to, then don't. I'm not saying it will cause an issue. This model, when I ran this model in, it ran perfectly fine without any issues, but it could become a problem in the future, so just be aware of that. But problems aside, overall the model, it's okay. We have got separately fitted sort of pipes there, which is quite nice. We've got some bogie detail, which is not too bad. And we've got a nice sort of pipe there as well. That's quite delicate, so you want to be careful of that. The roof, yeah, the roof, very, very bland. The only separately fitted piece is the exhaust detail. But it looks okay, I suppose. So you could, I suppose, it would look better if you weathered it and everything, which I'll probably do in the future, actually. There are no working lights on this model either. There are no lights at all. However, you could fit some. You could easily drill holes and fit lights if you wanted to. The hole at the top here, I believe that hole is for a bell, but this model doesn't actually come with one. There isn't even one in the detail bag, actually. So I don't know why Hornby have made provisions for it, because I'm pretty sure this, I don't know if this loco in real life might have a bell. I have seen this loco in real life, but I can't actually remember if it has a bell or not. It might do. If it does, then I don't know why Hornby haven't included it in the detail pack, or included it as standard actually. Let's just check the detail bag actually again. Is there a bell in there? Not that I can see. I can't see a bell in there. Yeah, I don't think this loco comes with a bell, so if it does need one, well, Hornby, that's your fault. You should have included one either as standard or in the detail bag. One thing that I'm not sure about is why this loco has the Network Southeast logo on it. I'm pretty sure that is the Network Southeast logo, so why this loco has it, I do not know. Unless Hornby have depicted this loco when it first came out, when it first started running in the 1980s, maybe maybe Network Southeast owned Hanson or something, I don't know. But why the model has this logo, I don't know. I know it's not just this particular example that has it. I have seen other photos and reviews of this model and they also have it, so I don't know why it's there, but I'm sure there's someone who knows why this loco has the Network Southeast logo. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have it in real life, so I'll probably remove it at some point. But it's not going to bother me too much. The cab detail, there's a little bit of detail there. You can see the seat. You can see there is some effort to depict some controls on the dashboard area, but there's not a lot. So we have got a separately fitted handrail though on the front, which is nice. The hammers on the doors though are not separately fitted. They are just moulded. The steps on the bogies, they are just moulded to the bogie. They're not separately fitted either. So it is a basic model. It is a very basic model, but as it's Hornby Railroad, well, you kind of expect that. But overall, it's not too bad. The price for these is a bit much, I'd say, for what you get. But overall, the loco itself, it's okay. It's not too bad, and it does run well. That's one thing you can guarantee from these models is 99% of the time, the performance is very good. So let's put it on the track and see what she runs like. Okay, so if we just put the loco on, it's quite easy to do. One thing I would be careful of is when you are putting these locos on the track, I would just be careful of the centre wheels on both bogies, because they do have a tendency to swing from side to side. Despite the pickups, I'm obviously pushing on them. They do have a tendency to not to always go on the track easily, so just want to be careful that when you do put the loco on, there we go, just make sure that those centre axles are on properly, because otherwise you might get a surprising derailment at some point. But there we go, she's on. Now obviously she is chipped. I was going, as I said, I was going to do this review a lot earlier, before I chipped her, so I'd run her on DC and everything, but yeah, I've already done it, so she's already been chipped. So if we just select her number, there we go. If we just give her a bit of a wiggle, she is a bit jerky, but that is partially because of the decoder that she's got in her. Again, it is only a very cheap £10 Lay's DTC decoder that's in here at the moment. It will be upgraded at some point, but for the purposes of testing and just running her, this should be fine for now. Plus it's a fairly basic loco, so no need to go for anything too fancy early on really, unless you want to, obviously. But anyway, let's just see what the slow speed is like at the moment. Yeah, obviously very, very jerky, but again, that is partially because of the decoder. But if we get it going a bit faster. Yeah, once she speeds up, she is a bit better, and she's fairly quiet as well. She's not completely silent, but overall she's definitely quieter than if she had a higher quality Hornby decoder in her. Note, I did say high quality, mainly because yes, the Hornby decoders are more expensive, but I find that these actually perform better. I find they're smoother, the locos are quieter. So I would recommend actually going for these instead of Hornby ones. Obviously though, the quality of these probably generally isn't as good considering the price. But overall, Lay's DTC decoders, they may be cheap, but they are good in my opinion. But I wouldn't stick with them for too long. Anyway, let's get her running and see what she's like. But overall, that's not too bad. Fairly smooth, fairly quiet, not silent, but again, she is still fairly new. She's literally only been ran in and then maybe had the odd run after that, so she's still needs a bit more running to get her better. But overall, as she is, she's not too bad. I definitely recommend this loco. Well, overall, I have to say, she's not bad. She's definitely not the best loco in the world. Obviously, the quality is, well, it's good. She's good quality, but overall, she's not. Well, yeah, she lacks detail. That's one thing. She definitely lacks detail and weight, I suppose. She's not the heaviest loco in the world, but in terms of build quality, I can't fault it. Performance is acceptable. She's getting a little bit squeaky now, so she might need a bit of oil. But overall, I can recommend it. She's not a bad loco at all. If you do want one of these, or a Hornby Class 59 in general, I definitely recommend you get one. They are amazing models. Fantastic.